Pamela Raintree. Great name. I love the name. She's a transgender woman, and she was at a council meeting, and there's this bill that they were putting forward. This bill was to protect people who were transgendered or gay or whatever, so they could get affordable housing, no job discrimination, whatever, within the city limits of this particular city. And most of the board was with pushing this bill forward, except for one guy. And he said that no, because of his Christian values, that the transgender community, because it goes against his religion. You know, the transgender people should not have that right because it's against his religion. And she went up there and she said at the next bill, next voter, I guess it was a couple votes that they went on this thing here. And she went up to him and says, she brought a stone with her to the council meeting, and she stated, Leviticus 20:13 states, if a man lieth also with mankind as he lieth with a woman, they shall surely be put him to death. I brought the first stone, Mr. Webb, in case that your Bible isn't just a smokescreen for personal prejudices. She took the stone, said, here, fucking stone me. If you think if you think this Bible is true, there it is. Kill me. He said, I withdraw my argument, and the bill went through. Just it goes to show that a lot of these people that they say that they believe in their Bible is not as what they say it is. They're not a half or a tenth of what they actually believe. They're just using the Bible or their religion as a bully pulpit to push their prejudices. And that's all the fucking Bible is. It's a book of prejudice. Crystal, your thoughts?
Well, you know, I think this lady is very brave, and I always support people that stand up for what they believe in. She did not put down the Bible. She said, don't use your Bible as a smokescreen for your own prejudice. Right. And I think, you know, just the visual, actually bringing the stone in is kind of, that made him look like an idiot. This is in Shreveport, Louisiana. This is not a place where I think that they have a whole lot of this, but she's been a long-standing LGBT spokesperson, gets these bills passed and stuff. And you know, Ron Webb kind of was made to look like a butt in this issue.
Absolutely. He was looking.
And for him, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just for him to, you know, be the sole dissenting vote in this.
Right.
And everybody else supporting it. But yeah, ultimately, she got what she came there to get, and that was passage of that bill. So I can just say that I'm proud for her.
Right. I have only one worry about this whole thing, that somebody might take her up on that offer. Not that, you know, I'm not seeking this, you know, just being a shock on this, because it has happened, because there are people out there that, you know, they're lured into situations, and they're gay men or gay women, and then they're killed by these so-called loving Christian straight people because they're afraid of the fact is that somebody doesn't love an opposite gender and you know, doesn't like the same kind of thing that they do. Basically, you know, they say, hey, you know, you're a guy, you should like women. You're a girl, you should love guys, you know, like guys, whatever, you know, not another girl, not another guy, you know, so that makes you different, and different is scary. And so we have to destroy or kill whatever we find different or scary. Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that you do have a valid point that people might take her up on that, although I think that the vast majority of rational people won't. Right. I mean, you can look at, like, Matthew Shepard, who was murdered for being a homosexual, and his murder is celebrated by people like the Westboro Baptist Church. Right. If you go to their website, he's actually right on the front page. Yeah. And that was years ago, and they still celebrate his murder. So there's that. I think that this woman is very brave. I think that she's bringing to light an issue that a lot of people aren't aware of. A lot of Christians aren't very familiar with their own holy book. Right. And I don't think that many of them are aware that the Bible actually commands that if someone is a homosexual, they be stoned to death. Right. Right. I think making people aware of that it's a good thing.
Yes.
It also made me think of, people often say that Jesus never said anything about homosexuality, and that he never said a word about it. Even Stephen Colbert said, I tried to look up what Jesus had said about homosexuality, and I couldn't find anything.
Right.
However, you can find in Matthew 19:12, Jesus does speak of eunuchs, and he says, "For there are eunuchs who are born that way," which, by the way, sounds a lot like a Lady Gaga song.
I was a eunuch that way.
Yeah, I think it's a cover. But it says, "For there are eunuchs who are born that way, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others, and there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven."
Right.
The one who can accept this should accept it.
Right.
And that's an actual, in the Bible, that's something that Jesus said. Now, it might not directly pertain to homosexuality, although informally, a eunuch has been known throughout history as someone who's an unmasculine male.
Right. Someone probably either a gay man or a transgendered person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think that's an interesting thing. I applaud her courage in doing this. I'm glad that he decided to retract everything that he had said after she did this.
Right.
I think it's great that she actually brought a physical stone with her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that really supported her case because she could have just said, "Why don't you throw a stone at me?" You go, "Yeah, if I had a stone, I'd probably do it." He could have done that. In some case, if they don't have it physically in front of them, they go, "Oh yeah, whatever." But you bring the stone with you, and it's a good sized stone, and you say, "Here, do it."
Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money's where your mouth is. Exactly. There's a street preacher that comes around out here, and in the Bible it says you're supposed to put people who don't believe in God to death. Maybe I'll take a video camera and somebody out there and videotape and say, "Here, if you believe your Bible so much, it said I'll find the exact quote and say, here, kill me, do it. This is what your Bible says. If you're going to believe all this other crap, you better believe this too," and see what he does. If he backs down, then hopefully he'll stay away and go away for a while. But if he attacks me, then I've got video. YouTube, motherfuckers. So anyway, this is I applaud this woman's stance and what she did. This is amazing. I mean, would I have really been able to do this if I was in her place? I don't know. But I like I said, I so fucking applaud her stamina and her fortitude to do this in a city council.
I do too. Do you guys not think that, like, out of the whole LGBT kind of community, that the transgendered male to female is probably the most discriminated against? Mm-hmm. And I think that makes it even harder. I think they're more looked down upon.
Right.
Some of these guys still have male traits. They're still maybe tall or broad or whatever. And people do look at that as a freak, an abnormality. And for her to be up there like that is just, brave. Could I have done it? No, I don't think I could ever have done that.
Yeah, it's just, I'm very impressed with her, but still, wow. It just, I'm almost without words on how impressive what this woman did.